thought he was gonna shoot. Not my fault. He trashed though. Nah, playing nice this way. Alright, she got 4 points. Great.
And Curry, certainly, Clark, a magician with the ball in his hands. He can really supply a terrific handle.
Steph Curry. Oh, it's the three-pointer.
Sure does, but on occasion he can be a little loose with it and turn it over some. That's been a focus both by him and the coaching staff. Attack, but do it with precision.
And here's Gordon after the three-pointer from Gordon against Thompson. Gordon dishes to Davis. Look at here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Oh, yeah.
Curry against Howard. Stephen Curry again. Curry's got 14 points for the game.
I don't think they can ask much
I'm
more
just going to use Stephen Curry this whole entire thing, yo.
Davis
This guy's
to
been freaking not missing.
Davis setting the pick for Evans. Feeds to us.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna
Holiday
shoot
against
that.
Curry. Davis with a screen on Curry. And Holiday, here we go.
Nope.
The offensive rebound. Ashik, the pass to Gordon.
Oh no, 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 no.
And at last, they get one to fall.
Yeah, at least it's not a three-pointer. Let's go.
Warriors leading by
I'm serious. I'm gonna use Stephen Curry this whole entire thing. Oh nope. Back up, back up, back up. Alright, pass.
Curry. Inside, and Thompson kicks to Curry.
Back up.
They double team Curry. Another
Still doesn't work. We make a
Great
three.
outside shooting fueling this run.
Then the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit.
Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there.
Yes.
What a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs. Let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican line.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
You know, the league going to more ball movement, more outside shooting, less isolation play. And those are all natural fits for the talents of Klay Thompson, who's great moving off the ball. And we know he can stroke it from long range.
Spates checked in for the Warriors.
Alright, give me a second. I'm just gonna check out this update thing. It's installed, but okay, let's go.
For Thompson. The Pelicans also changing it up. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ash. Anderson comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Norris Cole in for Drew Holiday.
Oops.
Scooped up. Anderson
Oh, no way.
goes up and lays it nice and easy. Anderson's got his
sucks,
first 2
though.
points of the night.
Just not
I'm gonna break
enough
some ankles
bodies
now.
on the glass right there.
Ooh, yeah,
And
they're
they
double
pay for
teaming
it.
now.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal.
I know
You gotta
you
get your
use
body
Stephen
to
Curry the whole
create
entire
that
game,
other
but
player in the ball.
this guy was just too
Great for
open.
Thompson, a hard-working defender. You were talking about it. Do you think Clark, his offensive style, frees him up to put more energy into defense?
Well, you know, it could be. I mean, he's extremely smooth. He's uber
Oh,
smooth
man, I know.
in
It's not
how he
gonna make that.
operates. He doesn't have to drive the lane and absorb a lot of contact to get his shot off, and he's quick and efficient with his offense. So that does leave him more energy for the
Ooh,
defense.
yeah, that was a good shot.
Warriors leading by 7. Let's go to
Ooh,
Doris
that
Burke,
double
who spoke
team,
with head
man.
coach Alvin Gentry.
One player that he's talked to
Ooh.
his guys a lot about is Stephen Curry. He said Curry's one of the premier shooters in the game, and he's got that quick trigger. We really have to be tight to him, get physical, and try to get him on his heels as much as possible. Guys, Curry is an excellent free throw shooter. We'll see if they can do that without fouling him.
Thanks, Doris. Didn't think that was going to go in.
Rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
New Orleans moving the ball around. The feed now to Cole. There's a good screen. And here's Anderson from the arc. No luck. So Golden State.
Ooh, my
will
boy
take it the
Stephen
other
Curry
way.
caught that.
Outside Curry. And another 3 for Golden State.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Here's Cole, guarded by Curry. Here's Evans.
Oh no, he's not making that.
Spades with the rebound.
And no excuse there
for
missing that one
no,
after
no.
being freed up by a great pick.
And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, he told us about his comfort.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think Coach will allow me to take that shot. And it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. That basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? It's tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an...
What's someone back in?
an insanely great shooter. I mean,
we're gonna see if Livingston can do this. No, never mind. I'm not even gonna try it.
The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Warriors.
Oh, they must have had a good shoot around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy to put all those assists.
Thompson and Iguodala on the perimeter. They'll get out there with Festus Ezeli, and it's Livingston in at the point guard position. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. Ranked
yes.
Field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league.
No.
Remarkable.
Steph Curry's checked in for Golden State. From the wing, and the Warriors have two more.
Oh, what a sweet stroke from Curry on that one.
Pelicans trail by 14.
The Pelicans call timeout.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Steph Curry does so many things well, Clark, on the floor. The one area he had struggled with was turning the ball over.
Yeah, and after a slow start, Kevin, to the year in the turnover department, Curry was able to slowly right the ship.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
We're not going to
Guys, over that last break, I listened in on Alvin Gentry's huddle. He's looking for some old-fashioned offense right. Now, he wants the pick and roll to be the centerpiece of their game plan at that end of the floor. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris.
And Curry and his turnovers last year, a lot of it might have been getting used to a new system. But you can see he's also tightened up his play to reduce the giveaways.
Whoa.
Davis sends it back. Anderson with the ball. Quarter two and just under 2 minutes gone by. Kept alive. And it's sent back by Bogut. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. New Orleans making a switch here. Ashik's checked in. Here is Anderson. To the paint. Here's Holiday. And the rejection by Ezeli.
Oh, you move fast. Move fast. Move fast.
Anderson
move, boy.
There's the triple. And that one's good. Curry's got 32 points in the game.
Hey, yo.
You know, Curry knew turnovers were a problem. How about his mom even instituted a fine on him? And so anytime he has more than 3 in a game. He owes his mom $100 per turnover. And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Right, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
And looking at Drew Holiday, there's one thing he could do to really improve his game. Something that would, for the first time in a full season, help get his field
Oh no. What?
And that's just to get
That is the first ever red shot made from 3-pointers.
Pass to Pondexter. Davis with it. He's against Ezeli. Outside Holiday. It's stolen by Curry.
Curry steals it. Running.
And in the second
We'll
quarter,
get past
a little
to
under
Curry.
3.5 minutes
I mean,
played
no.
And so the ball out of bounds. Davis
We'll get past the wrong person, but okay.
Spates checked in for Bogut. Draymond Green comes in for Festus Ezeli. Barnes, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Barbosa in for Curry.
Why is
Orleans also
Barbosa
making
in
some
for
changes.
Curry?
Tyreek Evans is checked in for Anderson. Gordon comes in for Quincy Pondexter. And Cole subbed in for Drew Holiday. And the slam dunk by Spates.
Dunk.
Nice
dunk.
The field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb.
Gordon, the pass to Ashik.
Oh.
Easy layup after coming off the pick. Ashik's got 6 points.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Green dishes to Barbosa. Nobody near Barnes. Another 3 for Golden State.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams and their effectiveness from the three-point line.
It has been pronounced, no doubt about it. Definitely a big factor to this point in the game.
Cole's shot is good.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Warriors leading by 19. Well, New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity I think that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was
Pick
just
me up
over
on
25
Facebook.
years old. And the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
And the Warriors making a change here. Livingston's checked in. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for New Orleans.
What type of
And
shot was
missing.
that?
Warriors have gone 8 of 9 in the second quarter. Very nearly perfect from the field. And he gets it to go.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
Livingston kicks to Green. The leaner inside. And Ashik sends it back. Wow!
That was trash. I barely got anywhere before he sent it back. Should at least did it on a dunk.
There's 38 seconds left in the first half.
You said what seconds? 8. Move, what?
6.
Oh, yeah.
Spates. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Evans against Barnes. Evans passes to Gordon.
All right, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. Go away somewhere.
Here's Cole.
Oh, no.
It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so
All
far.
right, come on.
That's the 10th straight
We need
point
3 to
they've
finish this
given
off.
up
So,
in
who's
the
the
paint.
3-pointer
And you know,
shooter?
it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're
Let
going
me
to
see.
allow easy
Nope.
ones inside like that.
Yeah. Okay, Green.
Green
Green's gonna
dishes
finish
to
it off.
Barbosa. Back to Green. Launches it. And another 3 for Golden State.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Warriors ahead, opening up a huge gap. And time now to go courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, what has been the underlying principle of how you and the team have taken the floor tonight?
Communication. Communication doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but in order for us to be a good...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
They have a pregame show, halftime show, and a postgame show. Wait.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight.
Yeah,
Ernie Johnson, Kenny the
show.
Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 32 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. It's a great bounce-back game for him. Not happy with his performance in their last outing, tonight he's taking charge. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think? Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, the bottom line, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yakum, splaka kataya, and that strategy backfired.
What?
Far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
You know, Curry is playing extremely well.
Hey, double team. I just got back. Come on.
He's buried a ton of three-pointers in this game, too.
I think we need a calculator to keep track of just how many of those he's knocked down.
So the Pelican 5 right now. Evans and Davis, the forward tandem. Holiday at the 1 with Gordon at the 2. And it's Ashik in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Nope.
They get it back.
How is
Gordon
that even possible?
Dishes it to Evans. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Boy, that was a violent throw down there.
You're telling me.
I mean, it's almost like he doesn't like the rim. And with the way the
I was never going to make that, but okay, come on.
Last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors' offense. Is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
How? I might be going to discuss it.
1 minute played here in the second half. They double team Curry. Outside, Green. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 3 assists in the game.
That's what happens when you get double team.
To start the second half. Evans kicks to Davis. Ashik the screen for Gordon. Now the dish to Ashik.
Oh, what did that do?
Holiday from downtown. Good. Holiday's got 5 points in the quarter.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Guys, you want to talk about one tough guy? How about the Turkish hammer, Ashik? Tremendous rebounder. A space eater in the paint. So long.
That's a great way to describe him, Kevin. Last year he finished 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. Plus he's always lurking as a shot blocker.
He is. Doyle's making a switch here. Perkins is checked in.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
You know, going back to Ashik, I mean, he's not just a big
in the middle of both you two. Stephen Curry makes a 3. You guys suck.
Mr. Dunk or nothing.
Thompson against Gordon.
Gordon ain't doing nothing.
Kicks to Perkins.
Perkins ain't doing nothing.
And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half.
And going back to Amir Ashik's toughness.
Okay, just cut him. Let me stop and relax real quick.
He's not going to smile at you. He's not going to show you any expression at all. Just a cold.
Oh, he's gonna shoot that? No, on the floor. Okay, he's stupid.
That's a 2 from Gordon, and the jumper is on the mark.
Okay.
Gordon's got his second basket of the night. Warriors leading
Chill
by
out.
23. Curry with it.
Whoa, hold on. I had to shoot that one. Did you see that? They're a little too late.
3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Davis kicks to Evans. Gordon the pass to Holiday. And there's
bunny
the
hop
call
over
on
the way.
Klay Thompson.
You know, something that's floating around in the sports world and in the NBA is reseeding after the playoffs start. And for those of you who may not understand the situation, it's simply saying that no matter what, it would play the lower seeded team.
Oh, no.
However you get to those numbers.
Andre Iguodala, he's checked in for Harrison Barnes. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for New Orleans. Pondexter comes in for Gordon. Stolen.
Man, you guys love double
And
teaming my
pushing it
boy
up.
Stephan,
Here's
right?
New Orleans. That's good from Holiday on the assist by Pondexter.
Now no more playing the pound.
7 points for Drew Holiday.
And that steal paid instant dividends.
No wasted time or motion getting out on that fast break.
And with that whole concept of playoff reseeding, so often we'll see a second or third seed team get a 6th or 7th seed team in the second round. Meanwhile, Greg, the top seed plays the 4th seed
Curry,
no
you
matter
little brother
what.
right behind you, please.
You know, I think in a few cases it would have made a major difference in how the playoffs would have played out. And quite frankly, I think it also puts more value on the regular season if that #1 seed could play a 7th seed, if you will, the second round. So I think that's something that the commissioner and the competition committee might want to
Man,
reassess.
this guy, it's only the third quarter. We got 72 points. I'll say we at
He
least
dishes
get
it to
100 in this
Anderson.
game. Stephan's at least gonna get
Here's Pondexter.
100 points.
He's covered by Thompson. A 3-ball.
Yeah, that's bad.
And Golden State will go the other way with it.
And not
Oh,
The defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
It was the season of destiny, and the Warriors certainly followed through. Clark,
yeah,
the best team in the league
subbed out
all
now.
year.
Let's see. What's subbed out? Yeah. Livingston, you trash, so I'm just gonna sub you off Curry again.
And they finished the job beating the Cavs in the finals.
And they were on a mission from the get-go. They would become another team to win 65 games or more and win the finals. Impressive work.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Azili comes in for Draymond Green. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. For 3,
Steph Curry in for
Barbosa, that's
Livingston.
good. Barbosa's got 6 points.
And for the Warriors, they had tough opponents the whole way. I mean, the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Rockets, they all put up fights. The Cavs in the finals were just as tough with LeBron, but the Warriors found a way to come through.
Wants
Dude,
to get it to Spades and does. Lets it go from
Oh,
deep.
no.
Another 3.
what?
for Golden State.
Another one!
Back to the
Oh
three-point
my
shot over
God!
and over and over.
Red
And
release
they may
one.
have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the
Oh
arc.
no, that
Shot
was
from
great.
12. And it's a Jensen missing.
And for the Warriors, it
Another
had been nearly
red
40
release
years,
made.
guys, since the franchise made it to the
Iguodala.
finals. They had a lot of pressure on them to win and finish things off, but they got it done and did it in emphatic fashion, winning on the road. The title solidified.
Oh, okay,
them as
you're
one
trying
of
to
the
copy now.
all-time
Okay, let's
outstanding
go.
teams in NBA history.
How about the passing? They
Come on,
are
come on, hurry
moving
up.
the ball without any thought, without any.
Red release! Oh my
And it's really
God!
fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And Cole kicks to Davis.
Back up
7-foot
from him.
shot.
Let him get
And
it.
a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Davis has
We
got
need
4
the last
points
point.
in the
Come on,
quarter.
come on, pass it,
He's
pass
got
it,
so
boy.
much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Here's Livingston.
Oh, red release.
What a play.
Oh my
Certainly
God!
drains it in at the buzzer.
Again!
Kevin,
Again!
they're firing on all cylinders.
Again.
That shot caps a nice run going into the final quarter.
Jesus.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail biter here, but you never know.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's
Here's
not
New
a
Orleans.
at all.
They get to take on the Blazers at Portland after this
Oh.
one. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
Get it.
Well,
Well, you still suck. Nobody was on you.
And it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Warriors' foul. The foul called on Festus Ezeli. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, with Steve Kerr and Jason Kidd both coming with no coaching experience over the last few seasons and also having success, I don't know, guys. Maybe we should throw our hat in the ring. But pretty impressive stuff.
That's not for me to do. I've already determined I don't want to coach for a paycheck, even if it is a big one.
Oh!
You know, you look at the coaching success for both Jason Kidd and Steve Kerr, both with long playing careers, championship experience on their resumes. Steve, in fact, Clark even had some time in the front office of Phoenix.
And don't forget about his
really suck at
broadcasting
free
career
throws.
either, Kevin. I mean,
How much would
I
they
think in
make
both
this one,
cases, though, you look at these two guys, they
Yep.
were able to come in and
Oh,
have
no, you
immediate
suck, bro.
credibility with their teams and their playing experience, part of their preparation for being coaches.
What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
You
Especially the way
suck.
the finals began.
Exactly.
This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing. And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's Cole,
Oh, nope.
guarded by Kerr. And so we
I did
enter
not
trip to
foul
the line.
him.
Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014 and proved that mark
That was a whack free
by
throw, but
16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Dante Cunningham's checked in for New Orleans. Passes to Barbosa.
That
Down low,
double team is
outside for
critical.
Curry. Puts up a 3.
Nope.
And another 3 for Golden
That's
State.
a bullshit.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
The foul.
How much? Curry. He's 27. Dang. Curry. I don't want to see his ratings. I want to see how much points he has. 60. Alright. Wait, 60. That's it?
Called on Festus Ezeli.
Alright.
That'll be his 3rd foul so far.
And the next one puts him in the
How,
bonus.
but okay.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw
They're
that
gonna
next
try.
foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the strike.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. James Michael
Let him get it, let
McAdoo's
me get it,
checked in
let me
for
get it.
Spates. And it's Rush in for Andre Iguodala.
They're not gonna win anyway.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It
Oh,
won't show up
man,
in the box
red.
score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean,
Nope.
that took the defender right out of the play.
And goaltending is going to be the call. So
At
they
least
get
you
the
stopped
basket
it.
there anyway.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down. It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note was it was the first time
Oh
they
my
won 50
God.
games. They have arrived as a top-notch
Even though
franchise
they're beast.
in this current state of the NBA.
And you guys suck.
Here's Cole.
Oh.
Pass to Pondexter. Out left to the wing. G kicks to Cunningham. To the right side.
Let
6
go.
on the shot clock. Plenty of space. Cole's shot is good.
It's not even a
Cole's got 4
3-point. Let's
points in
go.
the quarter. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. It's Curry outside.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their teams. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
The first one falls.
Oh,
And so
man.
Perkins nails both of them. Kendrick Perkins at this point in his career really more of an enforcer than anything. Last season was statistically his worst since his rookie year. Played for a couple different, actually was part of 3 different teams and ended up in Cleveland after beginning in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and you know, at this stage, what he gives you
Any
now,
home?
he's really a space eater.
Huh?
Down low, still a terrific screener.
Huh?
In the pick and roll or in terms of executing of the offense. And when the game gets physical, that tends to lead to him finding a way to make an impact.
Enforcer's a good term.
I like that one, Kevin.
I do too.
I like that one.
Pass to Pondexter. And he uses the glass on the layup.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
It's all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
And, you know, going back to Kendrick Perkins.
$75. You haven't even
He
got
just
one.
looks like a guy.
Yeah, and it's
On top
2
of
more
that,
minutes
he
to
acts like a
go.
guy you wouldn't want to mess with. One of the toughest competitors in the league, and he's got a scowl to match.
Curry outside.
Stop touching me, nigga.
That drops.
Dropping bombs. How many more threes are we going to see from him tonight?
Well, we've already
What?
seen plenty. I mean, he's got more points from outside the arc than inside of it so far.
And we were talking about Perkins. He's always been willing to do the dirty work. When the Celtics traded him a few years back for Jeff Green, they immediately struggled to outwork and out-hustle opponents. That was one of the few trades that I think Danny Ainge would like to have back.
Cole dishes to Cunningham. Perkins with the screen. Cunningham passes to Pondexter. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Pondexter's got 6 here in this quarter.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
And the big difference here was accuracy behind the three-point line, Clark.
Well, they started spraying them from deep, and then it spread out the defense, and they had all the looks they wanted.
Boy, hurry up.
And it'll go down as their
this. He's just trying to make the spot, but
of the new year.
back up off
key
of
points
him.
in this game, they stayed
Let him go
committed
'cause he
to their
trash.
brand of basketball.
How do you
That's
not
why
make
they'll be
that?
taking the
And
front
you're, like,
end
wide
of this
open.
3-game season series against the Pelicans.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Stephen Curry. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him
my
from
God,
dropping it
man.
in.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but
It was-
for a guy that
oh,
shoots
okay.
it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
No good from Perkins.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert
Whoa.
very often.
Trying to double team somebody? No. Let me see how much score she got. 87.
Curry again.
You cannot do this in 36 minutes. There's no way. So I'm not even
And
trying to
send
go.
this crowd
Wait, yes, he
home
could. Everybody
Yeah, you know,
back
it was
up
a
off
real solid performance
this
for
guy.
them in a
Oh,
lot of areas.
my
I mean,
God.
they
He's going
should
to wait
be
till the
proud of
clock
their work
goes
tonight.
down.
Here's Cole, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Make him shoot it, make him shoot it. Come
Clear case here, Barnes,
on,
of saving
boy.
their best for last.
You
Quite a run.
suck. How you gonna shoot?
No good on that one.
Did I just see something called Durant?
And he ends up missing
Couple
both free
cutouts.
throws.
Where's Curry?
Here is Livingston.
Are you kidding me? Of course this happened, yo.
Fires from deep. And another 3 for Golden State.
And since the start of the fourth quarter, that three-point shot has just been there.
Yeah, exactly. Doing an excellent job, I think, finding the open guy on the perimeter. And the three-pointer is a major weapon for him right now in this quarter.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight. One that
Man,
was in
yeah.
total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans, too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get to the W.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Andre, a good game for you and the team tonight. Does a game like this carry more weight considering you beat a high-caliber opponent?
I think it's just a good win, period. You know, we can't really think about who our opponent is. So it's a good matchup, good way for us to measure ourselves, and we got another big one Friday.
Andre, thank you. One game at a time, Kevin. That's the motto.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And we send you now over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game,
Stephen Curry.
An absolutely astounding and historic night for him here in this game. He was simply unstoppable in what can only be described as a masterful performance. What'd you think, Shaq?
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. I get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
I will say this about Steph Curry. There is no player in the league more capable of single-handedly taking over a ball game than he is. What I mean is, Steph Curry's hot. It's hotter than anyone else is hot. He can beat you with his feet, his mind, his shot. The only thing you can be sure of is that he will beat you.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
That's gonna end it.